Hello everyone, Mark at Service and Sync here. I'm going to show you how to add a customer. I know this form looks a bit big, but I will note that the only required fields here are first name and last name. The rest are optional. But of course you should add as much as you have to make future steps easier, like adding an address and phone number and so forth. So I'll go through and show you how to add a customer with all the fields filled out. Start by entering the customer's email address. There is an option to send a verification email to ensure this is an active and working email address and that our customer can receive our emails. You can also edit or adjust the verification email template that gets sent out to the customer by clicking the Edit Email Verification Template button. This button will open a new tab or window with the email template so you can adjust it as you see fit. To learn more about how to do that, you can view the documentation or watch the video on the email template page. Just a quick note here, the platform can only send emails after you've set up your email server settings. This would be settings for whatever company email you're using to email users. If you haven't set this up yet, it's important you do so or no outbound emails will be sent. You can do this in the Settings Email Server section of the platform, and there's an instructional video there to help guide you through the process as well. Let's go back to the Add Customer page we just had open to continue. Enter the first and last name of the customer and the customer's phone numbers. If the phone number can receive SMS or text messages, you should check the SMS capable checkbox next to the phone number you are adding. On the next step, you enter the customer's address. After the address is entered, it is a good idea to validate the address to make sure your staff can find it when they are going to appointments. You can do this by clicking the Validate Address button. This function will verify the address is valid and prompt you to use a suggested address if there is a recommendation. If the address cannot be validated, a map will pop up with a marker that you can drag and drop to the correct place where the physical address is, as this happens with new construction. It is important to make sure the address is set up correctly so the staff make it to the correct location for the appointment. The next part of the form has all the extra address inputs that you have already created, so you can fill in the appropriate values here for those. If you don't see any extra fields between the Validate Address button and the comments for address, or if you have not done this yet or do not need any additional address inputs, then continue on. If you need to ask more specific questions about the address, then add some extra address inputs in the Settings Extra Address Inputs section of the platform. There is documentation and a help video there to guide you through that process to get those added. Then come back to the Add Customer page and continue. On to the comment sections. The first comment section labeled Comments for Address will be comments assigned to this address specifically and visible on any future appointments created using this address. Note that a single customer can have multiple addresses. This could be things like key is with the neighbor, the garage code is 123, etc. Comments for user will be anything specific to the customer regardless of which address is being serviced, such as the customer prefers their lawn mowed to match the neighbor's, the customer wants a call after the appointment is complete, or if the customer is a company, then this would be a good place to enter the name of a contact person or representative. The Allow this user to log into the system checkbox, if unchecked, will not allow this customer to log into the web portal. If Allow this user to log into the system checkbox is checked, this customer will be able to log into the web portal. This will allow them to self-manage specifics related to their account and appointments. You can find this under the Settings Schedule section of the platform. You can select what self-managed permissions customers have on the web portal by making changes on the Schedule settings page. The Send Welcome email to user checkbox will only be available for customers who are allowed to log in. Having this checked sends them a welcome email with their login credentials. You can also edit or adjust the welcome email template that gets sent to the customer by clicking the Edit Welcome Email Template button. This button will open a new tab or window with the email template there so you can adjust it as you see fit. Again, to learn more about how to edit email templates, you can view the documentation or watch the video on the email template webpage. And don't forget, if you haven't set up your email server settings as mentioned before, the system will not be able to send any outbound emails. Again, you can set those up in the Settings Email Server section of the platform. If the customer is allowed to log into the platform, you should select a username and initial password for their login credentials. The force user to pick a new password on first login option, if enabled, will require the user upon initial login to pick a new password. I highly recommend you check this box for security reasons, so the staff who set up the account or anyone with access to that user's email account does not have access to their login credentials after they log in for the first time. Once everything is set up, you can click the blue Submit button to complete adding the customer. You should now see this new customer in the View Customers section of the page. You have now successfully added a customer to Service and Sync. If you need more help with these, feel free to open a live chat at the bottom right of the Service and Sync page, or simply give us a call at the phone number at the top right of the Service and Sync page, and we'll be glad to walk you through it and answer any questions you might have.